Good morning and welcome. This is the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. Bringing you the news this Thursday morning, I'm Therunee Karunaratne for the Newsfirst team. And as always, we're coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. This morning too, we're ready to bring to you details of all the top stories from both here at home and around the world. Stay tuned with us for the news in detail. As always, we start off with news here at home. A group of individuals identified as members of organized crime syndicates, including Kehel Badara Padme, Commando Salintha, Bako Saman and Nilanga, have been arrested in Indonesia. The arrests were made following a special operation carried out there by a team that included Sri Lankan police officers. Police confirmed that among those taken into custody were also a woman and a young child. Further investigations into the suspects are currently underway. With that, let's move on to more local news for this morning. A fatal shooting was reported last night in Alubogahavatha within the Panadura South Police Division. Police stated that two individuals suspected to have arrived on a motorcycle opened fire at a person who had been inside a house before fleeing the scene. The victim, a 55-year-old resident of Alubogahavatha, died at the scene itself. Police suspect that the shooting may be linked to an ongoing conflict between two underworld gangs. Investigations are currently underway to track down the gunman. Now, the Ministry of Urban Development, Construction and Housing says that the process of clearing landmines buried in various parts of the country during the war has been expedited. Additional Secretary to the Ministry, M.M. Naimuddin, said that landmine clearance operations have been carried out for more than 2 decades with the support of both local and international organizations. So far, over 1,300 square kilometers of land in the northern, eastern and north-central provinces have been cleared of landmines. The remaining land area requiring clearance amounts to 22.7 square kilometers. According to the ministry, 982,900 people have been resettled in areas cleared of the landmines. And in more local news, an unexploded hand grenade was discovered in the garden of a house located near the Kantale town. The female resident of the house had spotted the grenade and immediately informed the Kantale police headquarters. Police officers who arrived at the scene examined the device and subsequently notified the Kantale bomb disposal unit. Further investigations into this incident are being carried out by the Kantale police station. Let's move on to more news from here at home. Several trade unions of the Sri Lanka Transport Board launched an island-wide strike from midnight yesterday. The trade union action is being carried out against the implementation of the new private state integrated timetable. Convener of the Samaga United Trade Union Force, Ananda Palita, stated that through this program, the government is attempting to dismantle the Sri Lanka Transport Board. He further said that 7 out of the 8 SLTB trade unions have joined this trade union action. When inquired by Newsfirst, Deputy Minister of Transport Dr. Prasanna Gunasena said that the trade union action has been launched without any justifiable grounds with the sole intention of inconveniencing the government. The Deputy Minister added that all SLTB drivers have been informed to report for duty and measures will be taken to suspend those who fail to do so and instead participate in the trade union action. And in your weather forecast for today, the Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters are likely at some places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Nuwara Eliya and Kandy districts. Several spells of showers may occur in the northwestern province and in the Hambantota district. Strong winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north central, western and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. And as always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by strong winds. Now, the sun is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during the 28th of August to the 7th of September due to its apparent southward relative motion. The nearest places of Sri Lanka over which the sun is overhead today are Nainathiu, Punarin, Manalkadu and Aliabale at about 12:11 noon. With that, let's move on to news overseas for this morning. Some 200,000 people have been evacuated as floods devastate parts of Pakistan's Punjab province. Rescuers carried residents to safety in boats after disaster authorities warned of exceptional high floods along the Ravi, Sutlej and Chenab rivers. Several districts called in the army to help as well. It comes after Pakistani officials said India had warned it would release water from major dams upstream, causing heavy flooding in parts of what is Pakistan's most populous province. Both countries have suffered intense rainfall in the recent weeks, with monsoon rains killing more than 800 people in Pakistan since June. The country's National Disaster Management Authority, or NDMA, has warned people in affected areas to stay away from rivers, drains and low-lying zones. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said the federal government would fully cooperate with regional authorities to avert the risk of flooding, particularly in the urban areas of Gujarat, Sialkot and Lahore, Pakistan's second most populous city. Sialkot has seen more rainfall in 24 hours than the highest record in the past 49 years, according to Pakistan's chief meteorologists. This has left cars, homes and buildings submerged. Rescuers have been going door to door in the villages, relocating residents and their livestock by boat. These boats have saved more than 32,000 people who were trapped by the flood water. And in more news overseas, shifting your attention to the Middle East now, Israel on Wednesday asked a global hunger monitor to retract an assessment that Gaza City and surrounding areas are suffering from famine, dismissing the findings as deeply flawed. The request came hours before United Nations Security Council meeting in New York, where 14 council members, all except the United States, issued a joint statement describing Gaza's famine as a man-made crisis. The statement also warned that the use of starvation as a weapon of war is banned under the international humanitarian law. It called for an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire, the release of hostages, and for Israel to immediately lift all restrictions on aid deliveries. Now, the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or IPC system, said last week that 514,000 people, close to a quarter of Palestinians in Gaza, are experiencing famine, a number it expects to rise to 641,000 by the end of September this year. Now, the Director General of Israel's Foreign Ministry wrote to the IPC urging a retraction until the body completes a review. His letter said the IPC had departed from its own standards, alleging data was made up, cherry-picked or ignored. He warned that if a new report was not presented within 2 weeks, Israel would ask IPC donors to halt its funding. The IPC, which involves UN agencies, aid groups and regional organizations, has previously declared famines in Somalia, South Sudan and Sudan. Coming up next is your sports news for this morning. Sri Lankan weightlifter Indika Dissanayake has qualified for the 2026 Commonwealth Games. The 2025 Commonwealth Weightlifting Championship is being held in India, where Indika competed in the men's 71 kg senior category. He recorded a lift of 130 kg in the snatch and 150 kg in the clean and jerk, securing 4th place overall. However, based on his overall performance, Indika has earned qualification for the 2026 Commonwealth Games, which will be held in Scotland. Well, that's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. Thank you for joining us this morning. Do join us tomorrow as well, same time, same place, for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.